In the month of June, I read 10 books, and let's rapid fire go through them. The first one is Demon in the Wood by Leigh Bardugo. This is not actually a book, but a graphic novel. And I actually listened to the graphic novel audiobook because I could, and it won an Audie, so I wanted to check it out. But I also bought the graphic novel so that I could hold it in my hands while I was listening to it, and I felt so much like a child being read a bedtime story, and it was phenomenal. I cannot even recommend this experience enough. 4 stars. Next, I read Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, and this book was like crack. I could not put it down. I literally was reading it. I think I read the whole thing in a whole sitting. It was so exciting and interesting, and I needed to know what was going to happen next. Now, I will tell you that afterwards, when I thought back about it and when I recommended it to people, it did seem to have some holes that I didn't see when I was in the thick of it. So definitely don't look at it with a critical eye, but just go into it blind and love it. Just feel it, love it. Every page, dragons. It's awesome. I rated this one 4.75. Next is The Babysitter Lives by Stephen Graham Jones. This is my only 5-star listen this month, and it's totally worth it. It was so good, you guys. It was amazing. It was creepy. Like, there were moments when I because I could feel the things that were happening to the character, and they were just so creepy and scary. And this one will leave you with the chills. It's just so worth it. Stephen Graham Jones, The Babysitter Lives. Catherine Faulkner, Greenwich Park is another 4-star read for me. I read this one again because it won an Audie Award. It was great. It was a lot of unreliable characters, an interesting mystery that was unfolding, kind of a thriller aspect going on, and I enjoyed it. Totally recommend. The Library at Mount Char by Scott Hawkins. This is one I read for Anything But Scary Clowns Book Club, and you guys, it's hard to get through some parts because it's kind of gruesome and gross, and the characters aren't really that likable or lovable, but I promise you, if you hang tight to the end of the story, it's worth it, because in the end, it all makes so much sense, and you're just left with this like feeling of wonderment. I mean, just like the idea, like think about it, like what happens if someone murdered God, and like what, like it's such a great story, you guys. But it does have some gruesome bits for sure. Definitely. Scott Hawkins, The Library at Mount Char. The next book I read was Shipwrecked by Olivia Day. This is the 3rd book in the Spoiler Alert series. It is good. It's not as good as the 2nd book in the series, but it's as good as the 1st for sure. If you like romance and forced proximity is a trope that you can get behind, then this book is definitely for you. I love it. I love the factual representation on all of these books. It was great. Okay, so these next 2, I'm going to just go by really quickly because I don't really want to talk about them. It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. Did not enjoy. In the Lives of Puppets by T.J. Klune. I love T.J. Klune. I love him. I have for a long time, even before he started writing non-smutty books. And I really wanted to like In the Lives of Puppets, but I did not. I did not love it. I think it might be the narrator's fault. But yeah, not my favorite. The Atlas Paradox was my next read. I think I gave this one a 3-star rating, but I will not be continuing in the series. I did like the first one. I do like this one as well. The magic system is really nice. Dark Academia is my jam. 100% Dark Academia is my jam. But for whatever reason, these characters just aren't doing it for me, so I'm going to have to move on. The next book is Hench. I read this one also for a book club book, and it's fun. It's just fun. It's just like one of those books that you read, and while you're reading it, you're really having a good time, and you're enjoying it. If you liked any of those books, like where superheroes are sort of gray characters, they're not 100% Superman type characters, but they have a little darkness to them. Hench is really about the villains, so obviously they're going to be a little bit more morally gray than your average heroes. But it's a really great concept, and the characters are really well done, and I really enjoyed it, and I think that you will too. So definitely check out Hench by Natalie Zinnia Walcott.